And we are live. What's good, Josh and Mandel Saint? Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. How y'all feeling? Oh man, yo, we got a good show today, man. We're gonna have a good conversation, man. We are going to be talking about a good topic, man. Modern dating. I mean, there's so much negative stuff out here, bro. Um, about dating today, and there's a lot of truth in it. A lot of it is like exaggerated. But modern dating is tough, but you can still win. And that's what we're gonna talk about. That's the name of the show, man. We got the homie in the building, man. We got GComplex, man. It's one of my YouTube dogs, bro. Like we go all the way back to like the Fresh and Fit stuff. In fact, we met through Fresh and Fit events. Real cool cat. Um, he's been out here working on his thing. Like I say, man, if you want to get good at this game, you got to get out there, get the swings in there. You got to work on yourself. You got to do the work. Learn about nature, human nature, female nature, all that good stuff. And he's doing that, right? He's doing it, making it happen. And we're just going to talk about it. We're going to chop it up. And because I'm seeing a lot of stuff out here, bro. And I see the negativity, but like I say over here, man, if you're really trying to get it in, do the work. But if you ain't trying to get it in, you just want to complain, all right, then complain. It's simple as that. So, let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Indeed, man. We got Miss AKA lady in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you. Yeah, you can win. You can win. Is it tough? Yeah, it's kind of tough, but it's not impossible. We got Scam Likely in the building. What's happening? So today we're gonna have a talk about what's going on out here in the sexual marketplace, man. And like I said, we got the homie with us, man. We got GComplex, man. Let's bring him up right now. As a matter of fact, boys, he can let y'all know who he is. What's happening, player? I see you, man. Don DeMarco to you for being here, man. Just to start the show off. Make sure how you feeling, bro?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate it, man. I haven't seen and talked to you in forever, man. So it was good to be on, man. Good to chop it up for a little bit, man. But things have been going good for real.
Absolutely. And to clarify what he means is we haven't chopped it up on this platform in forever, but we seen each other, not too long ago. Out here in these Tampa trenches. Like I said, man, if you want to holler at me, man, if you want to really get to know me, you got to come see me. I ain't on that. Or we can meet somewhere like Miami, here in Tampa. We could pick a city. Because that's the only way you really gonna see what it really is, man. Everyone online is want to do the Zoom stuff and remote stuff. I'm like, nah, bro, you gotta come see me, man. So anyway, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man, like your backstory and all that good stuff. And what kind of led you to doing the work out here in today's sexual marketplace?
Well, I think it's part of like a whole story, man. So about a year ago, or back up even further, like I started surrounding myself with different types of people that are also out there looking to improve themselves. And I was like, man, I need to improve myself. I was not in the best of shape. I didn't have the right frame of mind. I was just kind of just drifting through life. And I was like, yo, I got to get it together, man. These guys that I'm hanging out with were challenging me, as a group. And I thought, if I'm going to be around these guys, like I better like step it up, man. And, I did something. I left my hometown. I moved, and I didn't think that was going to make that big of a difference, but it's actually kind of changed my life to a degree, right? So one of the things that started changing was my health and nutrition. So I had already started doing some things internally and all that. So to take it to the next level, I started working out every day, just about meal prepping, cutting back on the alcohol, cutting back on the goofy stuff, right? And just nonsense. And, just a side note, I haven't had fast food since December of last year. So I'm kind of on a, what do you call it, a streak. And I'm trying to keep it as long as I can, man. I know at some point something's going to happen where that's going to be my only choice, but as much as I can, I'm going to try to avoid that. And so what I started noticing, like, okay, cool. I'm trying to get in better shape. I'm starting to find the reps, starting to eat better, right? And I'm starting to feel better, both mentally, physically, emotionally, all that stuff, man. And people are starting to notice, right? And I put in some effort trying to, look a little bit better, right? Invested in some clothing, And by the way, it doesn't really cost a lot. Go check out the clearance rack, get that stuff altered, and before you know it, you're looking way better than you thought and way better than people think you are. And then also, it's not even going to cost you that much, man. So don't think that looking fly, if you will, is going to cost you a lot of money because it's really not, man. And so I was really just grinding on that, you know, making sure that I'm trying to get in better shape, a better frame of mind, better mindset, and better health just in general, man, just for my own sake, right? And what I started to notice, I was like, man, people are treating me different. They look at me different. Like it was interesting to see, right? And because I was doing that, I really wasn't out being social a whole lot, right? And so recently I had to take a break from uh, the grind as far as like working out and my meal prep for like about a week. So, and I was starting to burn out. So I did that. I was like, man, I need to go out and do something. I remember it was like Memorial Day weekend. I was like, I'm gonna go out there. And I started noticing, I was like, man, I still need to work on my social skills too, right? It's like it atrophies for a little bit. And all of a sudden I just, I had a few good interactions and all of a sudden I started stacking good interactions, right? So that's pretty much what we're gonna talk about today. I've got some stories to share, some anecdotes and some things to look at, man. Just like working out, your social muscles also need to be getting reps too. Like you can't let that be ignored, right? And so you have to
You
find the balance. It's
cannot.
tough.
That
I'm not gonna
is,
say, yeah, absolutely, man.
bro, it's so tough. And man, yo, guess who's in the chat, man? Yo, the man, the myth, the
Hey, that's
legend
my guy.
himself, bro. King Life in the building. What's happening? What's happening? Yo, I'm jealous, fam. I'm jealous. You down in my favorite city right now, and I can't be down there, man. He's down in Miami right now, bro. I
I
sent you
know,
some spots.
man.
Like, yo, check out Friends, bro. I'm telling you, go to Friends, man. Get you some breakfast, lunch, or early dinner, like you know what I'm saying, brunch or something. Friends is a cool little joint, man. So salute to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all, man, for coming through. Um, but man, I gotta tell you, and this is something, a lot of people in the red pill space, a lot of dudes, they're not gonna really want to listen to a lot of stuff that we have to say because we're shooting down excuses. We're gonna be shooting down excuses today, right? That's just what it boils down to. So get ready for it, guys. And this is just, this is some tough love. We ain't out here trying to make you feel a certain way. We're just trying to tell you, like, you can, in fact, go out here and get whatever you're looking for. You're looking for a certain type of woman, you can get her. Thing is, when you get her, you better remember the steps and you better remember what you had to do to get her because you're going to have to maintain that to keep her, especially to keep her the way you want to
Mm.
keep her. Because if you revert back to used to be, you revert back to you want to pedestalize her and, you want to be a little guy again after transforming into a big guy, then what's going to happen. You've been down that road. If you want some success, one of the things you're going to have to do on top of everything else that GComplex has already stated, bro, you're going to have to really understand and embrace the power of no. You're going to have to say no to a lot of very pretty women, right? It's going to happen, right? So yeah, man, I think this is great. I do have a video lined up from Rich Cooper. He had a
Oh,
video
nice.
today. It's from it was like a sponsored video. Someone sent in a message or whatever about how he had this interaction and this woman. He had this quick little thing with this woman, and it didn't work out for him. And I think it's gonna be perfect to kind of listen to that and just kind of add that on to what we're talking about here. Like again, this conversation is gonna be, hey, this is how you can be successful. So, fellas, if you're not ready to hear it, now's the time to jump away. If you're not ready for this conversation, now's the time to jump away. But I appreciate you, and I'm gonna be showing everyone's chat um on the screen. I'll be doing it like this. But if you want me to read it, I'll read every super chat. I appreciate that. And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Tell a friend. We trying to get back in the good graces of the algorithm. I went away for a little while, so now I'm back trying to claw my way back into our algorithm. But so brother GComplex, man, where to start? Let's talk about some topics right here, man. Like let's talk about some things that make modern dating seem difficult today. I'm gonna give you a few topics. I'm gonna let you, and then I'm just gonna let you. I'm gonna let you cook. So, why modern dating feels more difficult today for some people than maybe it did in the past or whatever. Dating apps, swipe culture, social media influence, and expectations, the loneliness epidemic, men and women, fear of rejection, changing relationship dynamics. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you cook on this, bro.
Well, let me tell you, all of that is true. right? So what I started noticing is that in my algorithm for the last several months, it was a lot of negativity, right? They'd be like, yo, modern women out here are cooked. Modern men out here are cooked. The dating scene is whack. I mean, just negativity after negativity, and it's all true, right? I thought, man, there's no way it could be that bad, right? And to some degree, it is bad, right, for both sides, right? I sympathize with the men and women out here. So I went out, to start doing my social skills, whatever, social awareness, and just getting those reps in. And I found that, man, most people are just normal people out here, right? While those stories online are definitely true, the problem is once you do that, the algorithm picks up on it and it just starts feeding you the same content over and over and over again, right? Whether it's good or bad.
Yep.
And so you start to see that just like, man, I ain't trying to go out here and talk to these chicks. I ain't trying to deal with these guys out here, right? They're getting it from both sides and it's being reinforced over and over, right? And you hear people in the search circle talk about, oh man, I met this guy, oh, I met this chick, she was wilding out, and all this other stuff. And so you think, man, everybody's like that. And the truth is, yes, that is true. That is happening. But when you go out in the real world and you encounter regular people just going about your day, going to the grocery store, going and get something to eat, going to the gym, walking around just getting exercise, right? Going to different events in your city. Whatever the case may be, it's just a lot of just normal people, right? And most people are going to interact with you if you approach them properly, right? And sometimes it's just a quick interaction. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Whatever. What is that you got? Oh, cool, man. Thanks for letting me know. And then boom, it's that interaction's over, right? So what I've noticed is like real life doesn't always depict what's online and vice versa, right?
You're absolutely right about that, man. Especially in these YouTube trenches, because I mean, you nailed it right there. Because the algorithm is going to feed you what you're looking. It's going to keep giving you whatever you're looking at, and just So if it's negative, it's going to keep giving you negative. If it's positive, it's going to keep giving you positive. That's just how the algorithm works. But these guys, especially the dudes who are in the chats, the guys who get involved, which is great, especially as a content creator, we love it. We love when people engage. But I'm like listening to these dudes on panels. I'm reading what they're putting in the chats, and I can tell immediately, like, man, these guys don't go outside. Like these dudes just don't go outside. And then it got to a point where it's like I would jump on, because I'm up late. My schedule is crazy. I'm retired. I don't have to like be anywhere really. So I
Yeah,
would see no matter what time of day or night, I would see the same dudes on different platforms saying the same stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, they're not going anywhere. These people are in the house right here behind their computers getting involved in all this. And I'm like, man, what's the point of being in the red pill space, being in the Mano Swamp, which is really supposed to be for self-improvement? What's the point of learning all this stuff and seeing all these things and not going outside and testing it, trying it? So
yeah,
what you said about just going out, meeting folks, the acronym I use over here, ABTS, always be talking shit. That's just a acronym I use. Like, just get out there, man. Just say this, say that. It doesn't mean anything. Don't be mean, right? Don't come from a nasty place. Just learn how to flirt. People don't realize how valuable that skill is.
yeah,
Like, learn how to flirt. When you're out here just talking and you don't mean it, you become better at judging when women are doing the same to you. So, so many dudes will be out and some woman to just be flirting with him because he did say hello and he did make her grin or smile or something like that. He said something witty.
yeah,
And then and then she starts flirting, but it's not like she's really trying to get at him. She's just, enjoying the moment. Then the guy he switches up. Oh my God, she loves me. She's playing with her hair. She has positive body language. I'm going in, and it's like, nah, bro, you just messed it up. Because then she closes up. She's like, oh, what the hell? And she runs off. So you have to learn the skill. Once you
yeah,
learn the skill, then you see that, oh man, this stuff does work. Every woman is nice to you does not want to go to sleep with you. Every woman is nice to you does not want to marry you. All right. Every
yeah,
woman is nice to you does not want you to take her out. She's just enjoying the moment. And you only learn this by getting out in the wild, getting out in these trenches and trying it. So did you notice that?
yeah, man. Like I'd have conversations with people, and one of the things that I just want to mention that kind of helped me get that social acumen kind of going again was talking to people that have to talk to you, right? So what I mean by that is when you're out and about, the cashier at the grocery store, right? It's going to be a quick conversation. Your Uber driver, delivery drivers, right? Store clerks, bartenders, servers, right? Just those quick interactions. Just talk to them. When like a top tip that I would tell people is like go to a place and sit at a restaurant bar, and you can just talk to the bartender there when it's not busy. Because remember, they're also still at work, right? So they have stuff to do. So you have to be cognizant that they're working and they have roles and responsibilities that they're doing, but they're also there to provide service, right? And they're used to talking to people. So you can just talk to them. Hey, how's your day going? One thing that I've learned, and I actually saw this online, the positive thing for social media, right, is you can ask them, hey, where is it that you like to go that you would recommend, and what do you order from there, right? And they'll tell you, right? And then you can go visit that
Yep.
place, right? And then when you get there, same thing, rinse and repeat. Hey, where are some places you like to go to, and what is it that you like to order, whether it's food or drinks or whatever the case may be, or maybe there's a night they have karaoke, or maybe there's like a special event that they do on certain nights or certain months or whatever the case may be. So now you've got a little bit of a list of places to go to check out that might have something nice to drink, a nice plate, an appetizer that's really good, something like that, or an event, right? So now you have stuff to do or recommend to people. Maybe a family member or a friend comes into town. Maybe you can hang out with them. Hey, man, I talked to this bartender over here, and they told me that this spot over here has karaoke. I know you like to do karaoke. You should go check it out. And they have drink specials on these days, or they have house price apps, right? And you start to get to know. And then if
Absolutely.
you go again, they recognize you, right? Hey, I saw you. Where you been at, man? Actually, I have a story. I have a story about this, right? I went out recently. A
I
buddy of
mean,
mine
shit. Go ahead, drop the story.
from was in town from Florida, right? He's like, "Hey man, let's go get something to eat." And I thought, I was trying to find a place because he was kind of far out in between us, and so I found a spot that I had been to before, but I hadn't been to this place in months, bro. I'm talking like November. So we got there first. I walked in, dapped him up, was going, and then the bartender walks up, and she's like, "Hey man, where you been?" Dude, I hadn't been there since November, and she remembered me, right? So we're chopping up. Hey, what's been going on with you? This and that. He said, "Hey man, you look good." And I was like, "Okay, well, thanks, man. Appreciate that." Right. So she was taking care of
And see,
us.
that's what's up.
Yeah, man. And it was really just, she remembered me, I think, just because of the way I talked to her and treated her, right? With respect, make sure there's building some rapport, that back and forth, a little bit of banter, you know what I mean? Making sure I remember her name, just little stuff like that, man. It really does
Yeah.
help. And so when
And
they
keep
see
in
that, they're, yeah,
well, keep in mind, gentlemen, there are two types of people that service folks like waitresses, bartenders, managers, and stuff like that remember. And it's like when they remember you, it's like, all right, hopefully it's the good one. Because this is a good one and a bad one. So what we're talking about here is the good one. And it's like, oh, I remember you because the guy was nice, he was cordial. He wasn't like sloppy, he didn't get like belligerent, he wasn't mean, just a cool guy. Like you say, remember my name, left a good tip, was just real cool. And then you have those people that they remember is like, uh-oh, this guy again. You're like,
oh,
what? Because you got blackout drunk. You know what I mean? You're sloppy all over the place. You were mean for no reason. You were talking bad to people. You were calling all the girls like honey and sweetie and sweet cakes or whatever. Just stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Thinking you're the man, like you running around grabbing everybody. And you'll see these dudes. Like when you go out, pay attention to what's going on around you. You will be surprised how many guys they go to these places and they are just the scourge of the joint. Like everyone in there hates them. But the guy thinks, oh, everyone here loves me because I'm so cool and I be touching everybody. And they just be looking at him like, man, but maybe that guy spends $1,000 every time he goes in there. And he doesn't cross the legal line. You feel me? Like he's good for business. But they can't stand him. And those people, man, they won't tell you where the good spots are. They tell other bartenders and other places about you, like, oh, be careful with that guy. Make him pay the full cover. Don't give him any extra drinks. They'll be using your credit card to pay for everybody else's stuff. You know what I mean? So you're gonna be one or the other, and you want to be the good one. So, and it sounds like brother GComplex, of course, he the good one because he's a gentleman. He's a real stand-up guy.
yeah. And she was real cool with us, man. Took good care of us, kept our drinks refilled. And little things that you'll notice too is when you treat people right and you just, uh, sociable, right? Things just start happening. So, for example, she didn't charge me for like a particular drink that I ordered, right? And it was just, it was just a coffee, right? So it wasn't like some crazy old drink. But I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. You don't have to do that, but thank you so much, right? Appreciate it. That's happened before. Like I'll order something and maybe they charge me instead of like the three that I ordered, maybe I only get charged for one, right? I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take care of you. But there's stuff that they don't have to do. But what I've noticed is just in how my interactions are with those types of situations, and also that I've been working on myself, it's like it starts to compound itself. So if you come in there carrying yourself with confidence and you actually look decent, right? You ain't gotta be looking like Chad, even though it does help. Let's keep it a buck, right? If you carry yourself a certain way, you're charismatic to some degree, you have uh, those social skills. What's the word I was looking for? You're socially calibrated, right?
There you go.
People pick up on that, man, and it really is that simple, but it's not easy, right?
But you know what they're really picking up on, brother? They're picking up on your confidence. Because when you
Yeah,
do the work, when you lose the weight and you keep it off, when you see the muscle gain, because you're in the gym working out, when you notice that more people know you and treat you with respect, that only builds to your confidence. So that's what they're really seeing. A lot of folks are like, man, people hollering at me because I'm in the gym. If you're in the gym all the time and you can't hold a conversation or you're an asshole, they're gonna still make fun of you. Like the girls will still grab your arm and be like, oh my God, he has great muscles. But then they're like, but he's dumb as a box of rocks. You don't want to be that guy either. Right? You got to
yeah,
be socially in tune, just like brother GComplex was talking about.
yeah. And actually have a gym story, right? So I've really been putting in the work, man. I've been there all the time, man. It seems like, and as I've been there, so I started to see other people that are regulars too. And I would just go up to him like, "Hey, I see you in here all the time." I would introduce myself. "Hey, what's your name?" Yada yada. And then they would see me and then they would dap me up. "Hey, how you doing, man? What you working on today?" Right, that kind of stuff. And so recently we had a Fourth of July party for the building, and everybody that I interacted with, people that I hadn't really formally met before, were like they knew me as the gym guy. Yeah, when I said I would have never thought that people would refer to me as the gym guy, right? Because they would either see me in the gym when they were in the gym, or they would see me when they would walk past the gym because it's a glass door or whatever, right? I was like, there's no way that people are calling me the gym guy, and it was great, man. Like everybody was like, hey, it's nice to meet you. I always see you all the time, and it was almost easy. It's almost like that. Just being present in the gym, it was doing the work for me when I was in that social setting of being at the July 4th little party that we had, right? So there's lots of food. We had a band, lots of food and drinks and all this stuff, and just having a good old time. It was on the balcony. It was great, man. So it was really cool to be able to be in that scenario and have that kind of repertoire with everybody
Well,
or
let
rapport
me
rather.
ask you this question about the gym. And do you try to smash the women in the gym? What's your take on that? Are you trying to gun at the women in the gym, or how do you handle that?
No, I'm literally just there to work, right? And plus they're there to work too, man. So that's not really my thing. I know it is a good place to meet people. Like let's keep it real, but I have a really small gym, right? So I don't think it's wise to do so. Although if any of those gym sisters made a move, I wouldn't turn them down. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you're not gunning. If they want to gun at you, that's one thing, and that's smart. I think that's very wise. Why do we say that? Why I tell dudes all the time, they're like, "Oh man, I be trying to talk to the girls in my gym." Like, don't do that. Go to another gym. Like that's your home spot. Like that's your fortress of solitude. That's where you're gonna get your peace so you can work out. You want to holler at some women, go to like a sister gym or go get a free pass at 24 hour, one of the big gyms and go down there. And if you want to try to holler at some chicks, do that. And plus it forces you when you visit another gym, it forces you to do it in the moment because you ain't coming back. Like I only got like two or three free passes. I'm gonna holler at somebody. But if you try to if you try to start a relationship with a woman in your gym, and let's say it goes great, you guys get together, but then it turns sideways. Now you done messed up. There's no more peace in your gym. There's gonna be
Yeah.
friction in the gym. It's gonna be her team and your team, and y'all sitting in there until someone does something to make it right, which normally means someone has to leave the gym. So
Mhm.
keep that in mind, guys. If you're out here, you see a dime, right? I tell dudes all the time. But one guy was telling me, he was like, "Look, man, normally I wouldn't try to talk to no women in my gym, but this one came in, man. She's so beautiful, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I went up, I shot my shot. You know what I mean? Now we're going out. I said, all right, bro. Be prepared to go to another gym. He's like, no, I am. I'm ready. Like you know what I mean? I'll take the chance. She's so fine. I'm like, all right, cool, right? And that's what happened. He wound up finding another gym in his neighborhood because it didn't work out with her. We're not gonna get into the details of the story, but it got messy. And he was like, it's all good. He went to another gym. And as it turned out, the people that the owners of the gym was like a smaller gym, kind of like your situation. But after about 6 or 8 months, they called him. It was like, hey, that girl was a real problem. She, she messed it up for a bunch of people. She finally left the gym. Her membership is expired. You should come back now, kind of thing. So the guy went back later. But yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. And so I think it's just more, you can have your gym buddies, right? I call them my gym bros and then my gym sisters, right? That and they're all real cool and they're all there, doing work, man. And so they build that respect for you, build that respect for them, right? And this is kind of like a place where you guys just meet when you're there to work, right? And then when you see them out and about, hey, good to see you, right? And who knows, maybe they know somebody who might be interested, right? By proxy, right? And they've done the vetting process for you, so you can
They
use that.
do.
Like if you were going to use the gym for
They
a
100%
way
do.
in, you can. Because remember, the guys and the women at the gym, they may have sisters, cousins, you know what I'm saying, friends, colleagues that they can
They
introduce you
got
to.
friends.
So
The
think
girls
about
at the
that.
gym got other friends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got their friends from roller skating or from dancing or whatever. So
or
now they got
whatever.
their, they got their buddies and they'll put you on. Even Miss AKA lady agrees with it. She's like, yeah, man, that's like work, man. Leave the gym alone when it comes to that. Um,
Fair enough,
and I
man.
appreciate that, sis. And it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Real quick, I wanted to ask you, fear of rejection. How did you get over? Did you have that issue? First of all, was that a thing? If so, how did you get over it?
I have a story, a recent story from last night. You want to talk about taking an L, man? Let me tell you. So I recently started going to this country bar, and I'm not even a country guy. Like I don't even listen to country, but I went to the country bar anyway. I've been having a great time. It's been awesome. I love this place. I'm gonna keep going back. For whatever reason, last night was not my night, man. I was getting no's left and right, right? I had probably asked about 25 women or so to dance. And I probably got 8 yeses out of that. So you want to talk about handling rejection? That was the prime example, man. Let me tell you, it was rough, right? The first girl I asked, she said yes, and then all of a sudden I got like 5 no's right in a row, and I was like, "Bro, what is happening right now?" But I just kept at it. I was like, "You got to cope." There was a guy walking around that place, literally had a shirt on that said "Shoot or Shoot," and I was like, "Yeah, goddamn right." So I sat that thing and like, if Steph Curry was 0 for 11, you think he's not going to put up that 12th one? No one is going to go in, even if it doesn't. He's going to still put it up, man. So I was like, you got to keep asking. You just got to keep going. And eventually, like, it got to be to a
100%.
point. I was late. It was late in the evening. I was like, man, I got to go. The band was on break. They changed up the music, and I was like, it's time. I've had a good night. Let's call it a night. We'll reboot. We'll come back another night. Maybe we'll check out the lessons. Get something better. But yeah, you just got to keep putting in the reps, man, over and over and over again, right? And
Over and over again,
eventually,
man. Look, eventually you get, it's gonna happen. Like, but so many dudes, like the fear of rejection with a lot of these guys today, it's a paralyzing fear. And I noticed that's the hardest thing for them. It's like, bro, I spend so much time just trying to help them get over that fear. And it's what you just said. Is like, bro, you just got to power through it. And it's so what, just get used to hearing no. Salesmen, like guys who are in sales in real life, they do the best, man, when it comes to shooting the chicks, because they don't care about the word no. They hear it all the time. So they just gunning. Yo, Dr. B is also in Miami. What's happening, fam? Oh man, what's happening, bro? Good to see you, man. I was there last weekend, man. I wish it would have been this weekend. We all have been down there together, but I will be back in Miami soon. I got some people who are dealing with some things, and I'm gonna go down there to see them as soon as I can, probably within the next couple
nice,
of weeks. But
nice.
man, what's happening, man? Man, I'm jealous. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
here's the thing too about Miami. So many guys, like you let the internet tell it. Miami is just full of sex workers, like all of Dade County. It's like, no, that is not the case. Man, I'm telling you, every time I go to Miami, I meet amazing women who are working everything from like corporate gigs to like bartending gigs. I've seen beautiful women working as valet attendants, bro, running to get your car. I'm like, shoot, I would jump in the drive. Like she's like the attendant would pull a car up and she's fine. I would hurry up and jump in the passenger side and be like, let's go. And she just start laughing. But I'm serious as a heart attack. Like, girl, you fine. Let's go. I'll take you away from all this, at least for tonight. And you have to come back to work tomorrow. But
I
always,
dropped
hey
you back
man,
off.
always be talking that stuff. Yeah, you gotta come back tomorrow now. I ain't gonna be paying for everything. Um, but yeah, man, before you started doing this work, man, what was it like? What was the what was your situation when it came to dating? Were you just more focused on the job, or were you just like, did you go through a breakup or something? Like what kind of pushed you to kind of not force yourself, but to accept this challenge to get better?
I think it was just something different, man. Because I had several people tell me like, "Yo, Chris, you should be checking out this country place over here." And I was like, "I'm not really a country guy. I'm more of a salsa bachata guy." They're like, "No, you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. You gotta check it out." All right, cool. So I happened to run into somebody I met just out and about, and she says, "Hey, let's go to this place. I've been meaning to go there. Let's go." So we walked in there. I had a great time. I was like, "Okay, cool. This is something different, out of my element, out of my comfort zone." And I said, "I don't really listen to country either, and but the music's fine. Like it's pumping, man. Like we're out there dancing. They play a variety of stuff too at this place. So I'm guessing it's modern country. They play some old school stuff. They play modern stuff. They play hip hop, rap, R&B. I mean, it's a myriad of stuff. So it's not just straight country, but it's a good time. They play fast songs, slow songs, medium pace, whatever. Care. And what I've noticed is that country songs tend to be a lot shorter than like these salsa bachata songs, right? So you've got 2-3 minutes to interact while you're dancing, whereas on a salsa song you got 4 or 5 minutes, right? And so you've got to be able to like get the conversation going. And sometimes it's just a quick interaction. Hey, how's your night going? How you been here before? Like it's just, and you can tend to tell. This kind of goes into one of my points that I wanted to make is like keying in on social cues. Some of the people that you interact with, whether you're dancing or whether you're just out and about, right, at the grocery store or at getting something to eat, right, you can kind of tell if that person's going to give you some of that energy back in that interaction, like some of that banter, right, some of that back and forth, that rapport. And I've noticed over time, over the years, man, is that some women that you dance with are going to be sit there and they'll ask you questions, they'll be really engaged in the conversation, and some they'll just give you the one word answers, and they're a little bit more stiff, right? They're not as so relaxed, and they don't have that rhythm that you might have. And you can kind of tell, you're like, okay, cool. Like once the song's over, that's kind of the end of the interaction, and so be it. That's okay. Like, but again, you're just getting those reps in, right? It's a myriad of things, and it's over and over. You eventually start to pick up on it. You're like, okay, this is not going to be uh, the most positive interaction, or it's not going to be a fruitful one, right? You can just tell, right? The ones that
You have to.
give you a compliment or even ask you a question, those are the ones that typically tend to be the better ones.
Absolutely. And this is what you're not just, like we said before, you're not just working on how to talk to women. You're working on reading humans. And you're absolutely right. If you're dudes, I like to tell all the dudes out here, like brothers, if y'all out here trying to talk to women and it's just you doing all the talking and she just giving you the one word answer, she's looking at her phone, she's looking around the room. Bro, what are you doing? Break contact. She's not interested. Get away.
Yeah.
A lot of women don't know how to just tell you no, they don't want to hurt your feelings. Like, okay, just get away. Sometimes you'll break contact with that woman who was really into you. She was just quiet and just letting
Yeah.
you talk. You'll break contact thinking she's not interested. And guess what? She'll come up to you later on that night. She'll come looking for your information. Like she'll want to talk to you. She'll ask you, well, why didn't you come back? Oh, I didn't think you were interested, love. You really weren't engaged in the conversation. Oh no, I just have a hard time talking. But I think you're nice. Can I have your number? Can I have your socials? Most women, have you noticed this? When women come to me, they want me to give them my number. When I go to women, I want their social media. But what are you seeing out there?
Well, more lately, I think it's been more social media. You know, a lot of times we bring up Instagram. Occasionally, we'll swap numbers, but more recently, it's been on the Instagram side.
Because I prefer that. But I know a lot of sometimes I'll say a lot. I will say out of 10 women, 7 of them will want my phone number.
Oh wow,
Like
okay.
either they'll ask me for my number or I'll say, hey, let me get your social media. You on Instagram, older, like if I'm talking to an older woman, you on Facebook, and they'll just no, take my number, which I thought was kind of crazy because I just want the social media. So it's easier. To me, it's like again, I can see some stuff. I want to be able to do my little research.
Yeah.
But you're saying most of the women you talk to, and I'm talking about women who actually come to you and initiate that part of the contact, like that part of the conversation. Like she wants your contact information. She says she wants your social, or will she ask you for your number?
Usually, it's the Instagram, right? It's the socials.
Okay.
That's the majority of what I've noticed more recently, and I say more recently, like in the last year, right? Because before, like I really wasn't going out a lot. I really wasn't trying to interact as much or get contacts or nothing like that. So it's That's what I've noticed. It's like Instagram is, and what I've found is a little bit of a, I don't know if you want to call it a hack or an approach, but if you bring up, hey, be cool, like we should stay in contact or something to that effect. Do you have or are you on Instagram? Most of the time they say, yeah, cool, add me. Grab their phone, put your stuff in, follow yourself, and then send yourself a message. And this is where you can have a little bit of fun with it, right? You can put a message, hey, this is so and so from such and such, or you can be like, hey, handsome, it was nice meeting you. Just just some random nonsense, whatever. Just having fun with it. And one, it'll it'll pop up on your notification, so then you get it and you can respond back, and then you follow back, right? And it opens the message thread. So then that way you get past that initial accept or block thing that Instagram has when you first interact with somebody on that application, right?
And my technique's a little bit different. I'll give her my phone. Like she'll take my phone and put her information in there. You do it the other way. And the reason I do it that way is because in my mind, I'm pretty sure she's a bullshitter. And I want her to take that extra step. So, okay, she didn't approve my request or my notification. She had a private account, which is rare. Most women don't even have private. But she didn't approve it, or it takes her a while to do it. I'll tell them like send me a message, like send me DM me, just to see if they'll do it. And that's part of that thing where like, what do those guys call it? Like getting her in your frame or whatever, getting her to comply. I never look at it like that, but that's what I've been doing forever, and it makes sense to me. It kind of gets into like the world of the like the red pill world, man. Like make sure she has compliance, make her give these tasks, and I'm like, oh, I guess I do that. Like I didn't realize it, but I do it. But whatever technique you use is fine. And I tell guys like try different techniques as well. Like get one that works, man. Go out and try something a little different just to see if it works. Again, you're just getting used to getting out here talking to women so you can get over that fear of rejection and that fear to approach. Because that's the biggest, I think that's like
Yeah,
80% of the
man.
problem for most dudes.
It is, and I still struggle with that. People tell me all this time, man, like, how do you do that? And I say, how do I do what? Like I'm just being myself. But it took a while to get there. And the truth is like it's gonna take reps. And like I said, talking to people that have to talk to you, right? So then when the time comes that you see somebody that you do want to talk to, it's gonna be no problem. You're just gonna snap right into action. You know, oh, time to check in. Let's go, right? And then it becomes
It's
natural.
automatic. Yep, that's what you want. And you're not going to be nervous at all. And she's going to read that as confidence, which is only going to help you in the situation. Right now, she
Yeah,
might say no because she got a
yeah,
situation going on, but it's a real good chance she'll double back. Really good chance, especially if she has your social. Like she, just you give it 6 months or so, and they're like, oh, I remember her. She's hitting you up. That hey big head. It's like, okay, all right, that's what's up. Um, so why why do you, why do you think men shouldn't give up when it comes to dating today? And that's the next topic I have here. Why men shouldn't give up, and I'll run through the list here. Um,
okay.
why negativity becomes a self fulfilling prophecy, which we were talking about that earlier with being reinforced with negativity in the algorithm, and you just become self defeated before you even try. Developing confidence through experience, building social skills, which is what we've been talking about this whole time, learning from rejection, and playing the long game. Like these are the reasons, this is why I think men shouldn't give up. What's your take on that?
It's a tough one, man, because there's so many negative reinforcements nowadays, and people literally aren't good and outside, right? And they're confident. Like it is so hard to create that initial inertia, right? Or to get past that of going out and interacting with folks, right? Especially if you're not doing it, especially if you're used to just being online. The pandemic, if you want, right, stunted a lot of people, myself included,
Yeah.
and it was hard to get past that initial, roadblock of getting out there because we weren't social for a while, and being online isn't like it is in person, right? It is hard. I'm not gonna sit there, and I can sympathize with people, men and women, that it's tough out there, but you just have to do it, man. Just like going to the gym, you just gotta go. You have to do it and
Yeah. But think
take the
about it.
little steps.
Yeah, driving a car is hard if you've never done it before,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right? But we
Yeah.
practice, so we're decent at driving the car. It's the same thing with getting out here and trying to be social. You just gotta do it.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is, if I go out to eat on my own, and a lot of people are like, I don't want to go by myself. It's really not that bad. You just make friends when you get there. Right. That's been my philosophy, is just make friends when you get there. Right. I've done a lot of solo traveling, and people would ask me like, "Yo, how do you do that?" I just go. I just make friends when I get there. And what's interesting that I found through my own experience is that people find you interesting too. They're like, "Oh, you're here by yourself? What's your background? Where are you from? What are you doing? Like, what made you come here?" And then all of a sudden, like, you've got an instant friend, right? While you're sitting there eating your dinner, right, or your lunch, or whatever the case may be, or maybe you're at happy hour, whatever, right? Or they can find other things in common with you, and they might do the recommendations. Hey, man, there's this cool thing going on that I'm gonna be checking out. You should come. We should check it out, right? Or how long are you gonna be in town? There's all these other events that are happening later this week. And you might get recommendations, and then you can meet more people, or just have a good experience, right? And it
Like
really is,
guys,
man.
y'all don't understand. I don't think dudes really understand the importance of what you said right there and how, I mean, how that works in real time. I mean, hell, the time that we met in real life, he's doing exactly what he said he was doing, guys. He came down to Miami on his own, came for an event, but he came down, but he didn't come down with a group of people, sitting at a bar in a place. I don't think you ever been to Moxie's before. I think that was your first time at Moxie's. Correct me if I'm wrong. We
I
were in
don't
Brickell.
recall. I don't recall if it was my first time, but it was early on in my Miami adventures, if you will, because I've been in Miami several times, and I don't remember if that was the first or second time.
Right. And I'm at the bar talking to this beautiful Puerto Rican lady and trying to do my thing. He looks over like, yo, you DL Saint? I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? And then we was kicking it. Like, what's good? You know what I mean? I'm GComplex. Like, oh snap. What's happening? And we wound up hanging out with old girl and her friends
Yeah,
that night, for a hot second until we realized, I mean, it was so many dudes in her trying to get at her. And she was surrounded by like the typical blue pill dudes. They were blocking. It got to a point where she's trying to talk to me. They're running interference. They think for her. She got frustrated with him and told him to stop. She's like, look, give me a minute. I'm doing something here. I thought it was hilarious. I'm just sitting there looking at him. Like, y'all over here thinking y'all helping her, bro. And it's just, it's like a jealousy factor. And that's another thing too, guys. If you out here in these trenches, man, you out here trying to talk to women, do not be jealous. Don't get mad at another guy. Like if a woman wants to talk to the Giga Chad, or she wants to talk to the Pookies or the Tyrones or the Ray Rays, who whatever, don't be mad at anybody. That's just how the game is played. Go talk to another woman. That's all you got
yeah,
to do. Just move to the next one. That's it. Don't get mad. Don't call people haters, even though they're out there trying to hate. And when you really know what you're doing, the haters help you. The haters will push her towards you.
yeah. I mean, I've
You
seen
know?
that. I've seen that happen. I haven't necessarily experienced that, but I've seen that happen. And so one of the things that is a really tough lesson to learn and accept is that not everybody that you're interested in or you like is gonna like you back, and you have to be okay with that. You know, and there's gonna be times when somebody likes you and you don't like them back, and that's really hard being on that side of the equation too. It's just how it goes, man. Like you just have to accept that it's a tough thing to learn, but it is the way life goes, man. It really is.
It's the way life goes, man. And that pulls us into our next topic, man. Like what men need to improve. And this is some real stuff. Like we already talked, we done touched on a bunch of this. If you watch my content, you hear me talking about this all the time. Physical fitness and health, bro. You can't get around it. I mean, you could be like the overweight lover, heavy D if you want to, but most people need to be in shape. It just helps with confidence and all that. Communication skills, what we've been talking about on this platform, on this video today. Emotional intelligence. I'm not crazy about that term. I like to replace it with being socially in tune. And a lot of people argue it's the same thing, but I just don't like the term emotional intelligence, man. I think that's something that chicks came up with. Financial stability, right? It's a must. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to be secure. In fact, when I had the most success I ever had running rotations and stuff like that with women, that's when I made the least amount of money. But man, it helps. When you got bread, you can do whatever you want to do, move the way you want to move. It really does help. Purpose and ambition, style and grooming, that is a must, fellas. You got it. Like we said at the top of this show, man. You don't have to spend a lot of money on clothes, but you got to look good, right? The clothes don't make you; you make the clothes, right? So you make that outfit
Oh,
work.
man.
So definitely go out there, get you some good deals, go to the tailors, get them altered, but you don't have to spend a ton of money on clothing. And confidence without arrogance. And I talk about this all the time. You want to be confident. You want to walk right up to that line of being arrogant, but don't cross over. You want to be supremely confident. Women sense that and they love it, man. Your thoughts?
I mean, all those things are true, man. Like I've noticed, just walking around, just going about my day, whether I'm in my neighborhood or going to go store or when I'm traveling and you're at the airport, right? Being at the airport is like a microcosm of the United States, right? And what you're seeing. It is it's really, really bad and sad that the state of this country as far as like fitness is concerned. So many people out here are just straight cooked, man. Cooked, bro. And I can say that because I used to be
75%
cooked.
of
Like I
America is
was
either
cooked.
overweight or obese, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I was one
they
of those
say
cats, man.
75% of America. Wow.
It's true, man. Cooked, bro. I mean, right now, if you're just not fat, like you're above average, right? And it amazes me being on the other side, right? And I still have work to do. Like I am nowhere near the end of my journey, right? It's a lifestyle change, it's the whole thing. But again, it's really, really not that hard, but it is not easy, right? You have got
It ain't it's
to
yeah.
be intentional, right? With your food, with your workouts, all those things, man. Like it makes a difference. I can't believe being on this side, how much of an improvement it's made for me personally. People that around me see it, you know. And when you look better, you feel better. When you feel better, like things just start to go your way. Even if it's just little microcosms, man. Like people treat you a little bit better, right? Maybe you get a discount here and there, right? I mean, just little stuff like that, man, is starting to happen. Clothes that fit, right? I cannot stress enough, like how much of a difference that makes. When I look back at old pictures, I was wearing clothes that were bigger, one because I felt more comfortable, but it legit added like another 10, 15 pounds. I looked at the photos, I was like, man, I look terrible, bro. Like, what was I doing? And I thought I looked normal. I thought I looked fine.
I came up in the era of wearing everything baggy and saggy, bro.
Thing.
And I look back at those pictures like, yeah, we were kids, man. We were kids, but just wearing it baggy and saggy. Now I wear clothes that fit, and you're right. Brother Mandrill, speaking of fitness, Brother Mandrill's in the building. My favorite Green Beret, all into fitness, man. He'll definitely, co-sign everything we're saying right now. But those things, like again, like we hear like people bad talk women and like, oh man, they're hypergamous and this and that. And it's like, okay, women want the best they can get.
Yeah.
So do I. Yeah, as a dude, I don't really rock with the big girls. That's not my thing, right? But the big girls, they get to choose the dudes that they want, and they're choosing the guys who are like fit. The big girls aren't rocking with big guys. It's crazy, right? It's
Yeah,
crazy. I
man.
tell people all the time. And
That's the
Scam
thing,
Mike,
man. Like,
he's in the DR now. He's saying the oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Read the chat.
Scam likely saying the DR, some women's question if I am American because I am actually in shape. Facts. That's true. Like it's like, especially now with the passport bros, man. These big, fat, nasty, no style dudes going to these countries, and I mean, they're just paying for what they want. I ain't mad at them. I guess it solves the problem, but I tell those guys like you should be able to do that in America. If you can't do it in America, what makes you think you're truly successful in the DR, Colombia, Brazil, anywhere else, Philippines, Thailand? And all their carriers is like, well, I'm getting to smash these chicks. I'm like, yeah, but you're taking your own risk, like your own life at risk, man. Like down in Colombia now, dudes are getting scoped like every other day. It seems it's crazy. They're getting robbed. You know what I mean? It's like trying to go down there. Like, bro, you might as well just pay an American. At least
Yeah,
if she
man.
scopes you, you can you can catch her. You can send the
Yeah,
police after her.
yeah.
But
I mean, just do the work and you can increase your options or at least, just improve yourself for, a better life experience, man. And maybe you don't have a rotation of women or get a girlfriend or whatever the case may be, but when you move through life, things just kind of start to work favorably for you. And this is small things. I'm not saying like it's life changing, but when you walk around, I remember I went
and,
to shopping, right, place I'd never been before, and I was looking for one item, and I walked in. They greeted me, hey guys, how you doing? Asked them how their day was going. We talked about the weather, just surface level stuff. but I was real courteous with them. And I said, this is what I'm looking for, so I need help with. So they helped me out, and they ring me up. They're like, you know what, we can give you a discount today for no reason other than just to do it. I thought, man, I've never even been here before. And like, okay, cool. And I just bought one thing,
You were nice.
right?
Yeah, but you were nice. I mean, you were nice. You were courteous. You treated them well because a lot of folks like to look down on the people who like the sales associates and stuff like that. If you treat people the way you want to be treated, hey, sometimes you get rewarded on the spot. They took care of you, man. I've been in that situation. You wind up getting these extra discounts, and it's like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? Thanks.
Yeah,
Try to come back and hook them up. Um, and that all goes into finding like if you treat women like this and you treat everyone like that, bro, I mean that goes into your social proof because you never know who's watching. So
yeah,
you're doing, like that. Those people that gave you that extra discount, you probably couldn't pick them out of a lineup these days. It maybe happened so long ago, but they'll probably remember you. You might be talking to some baddie, and then they'll be like, "No, no, he's really cool. Remember that guy that came to the store one day we told you about? That's him." And now they're helping you with this girl. It's like, oh man, now you get much easier to get a date with her. Like, you're gonna be able to get what you want. Plus I think it's better to live a righteous life in the sense that you're treating people the way you want to be treated. You're treating people nicely, man. I think it's easier to be nice. It takes more work to be evil, to be angry, to be mean, right? I think
yeah,
that because I'm not one of those people. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I was just saying.
So I wanted to transition over into where to meet women today. This is probably one of the most important things, right? Because this gets guys in so much trouble because they'll meet a woman, get into a relationship with the woman, beautiful, everything he's ever wanted, right? Probably the finest woman he's ever dealt with. And it goes sideways and they start looking for help. And then you figure out where they met. Like, well, where'd you meet her? Well, I was at a strip club. Or I was like, whoa, you were at a strip club? Like, was she working? Well, the day I met her, she wasn't working, but I found out later that's what she do. I'm like, well, come on, man. Like, and it went sideways. Of course it did. Um, where you meet a woman today, and ladies, this is important for y'all too. Like, where y'all meet is extremely important. Now, here it says coffee shops, restaurants, fitness centers, networking events, volunteer organizations, church and faith communities, professional organizations, hobby groups, travel, mutual friends. Now, of this list, I will start breaking it down. Like, a coffee shop can seem harmless. It can seem harmless, but I mean, how many coffee shops is she in? Like, how many people is she hounded at? A coffee shop today is almost like going to a club when I was coming up because there's so many women out there. So, I would pick a coffee shop over a nightclub or a lounge. Absolutely. Restaurants, you know, that's a
I
good
was
place. Oh, go
no.
ahead.
Let me chime in here, man. Let me chime in. I'm gonna say restaurants, but at a restaurant at the bar top, because that's where the fun is at, right? And I say that because the bartenders are there to interact with people. The people at the bar, for some reason, they just have a little better energy, right? And
Yep.
you can meet men and women at the bar. Maybe just a single woman that's out there, or the bartender. Like you said, social proof, right? If the bartender knows you, right, they can vouch for you, right? And there's a lot of environmental things that you can discuss that can start a conversation. So what do I mean by that is you can ask, oh, what is it that you're drinking, right? Or, oh, what do you think about this game on? So right now the World Cup's going on, right? So a lot of places that have TVs, they have the games playing, right? You talk about, oh, are you supporting anybody? Or what do you think about this game? One of the things that I've been talking to people about is, regarding the World Cup, is all the foreigners and the visitors. They're basically having the time of their lives out here, man. They're loving America, man.
Yes,
It's
they
been
are.
great. And so that's been a talking point that I've used with people. Hey, what do you think about this? Oh man, I love it, man. I love seeing all the videos, the articles. People are loving the food, like all the stuff that's here to do. Like they are enamored with the United States. And I love it as an American. It's like, yo, man, I'm so happy that people are loving, my home country and they're having a great time and great experiences and they're gonna be able to take it home and hopefully they come back, right? And share those
Oh, they'll
experiences.
be
So
back.
yeah, those are things that you can talk about. Like those are environmental things, right? One, I'll give you guys
Yeah.
something that I've done in the past that I didn't think was gonna work. I was like, ain't no way, right? So I remember I was out with my little cousin. I say little, but she was like 22 or whatever, right? And I'm putting her on live game and we're having a good time. And I said, I need you to be a wingman if the opportunity right, she's like, I got you. Don't worry about it. And sure enough, man, this girl walked up and she can't get the attention from the bartender to close out her tab. And she asked us the question, hey, what are you guys drinking? I didn't even hesitate. I just grabbed a straw, dipped it in my drink, held it out, boom, right on her tongue. She's like, oh, that's good. Didn't even hesitate. She's like, and boom, instant friend, right? And it was all like it was a good interaction. It was, it was a lot of fun. But just little stuff like that, man. Sometimes people will ask you, "What are you drinking?" You can ask them, "Hey, what are you drinking? What is it that you ordered that you ate?" I mean, one time I was out on my own. Uh, this guy rolled up, and him and I started talking. We became friends. We were hanging out there for like all afternoon, right? Then one of his buddies showed up, right, and then me became friends. And then after a while, these two women sat down next to me, and they were doing their thing, and I was like, I'm gonna try the "What is it that you ordered?" line and see what happens. So when their food come, I immediately was like, "Oh, what did y'all order? What is that?" And then boom, we started talking for like an hour. So in one afternoon, I made like 4 friends, right, just like that, all from just being out and about and just literally just existing and asking a couple of questions and saying hi and just how you doing.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That move with the straw right to her tongue, that's a bold move, man. If my eyes would have been open. I'm like, what? And if it worked, I'd be
Yeah,
like, oh, cool, cool, because I
yeah.
could go the other way. Like, what are you doing to help?
Well, so before that happened, she was struggling to get the bartender's attention, and so we happened to get introduced to him by another bartender. And so I was like, hey, I think his name was Nate or something like that. Hey, Nate, so and so needs some help. And then that's when she asked about the drinks, and that immediately was when I did the straw move or whatever you want to call it, right? And boom, it was instant, you know, chemistry
I ain't
between the
mad
three
at
of
you.
us. It was me, this girl,
It
and then my
worked.
cousin, right?
Yeah, it worked. I ain't mad at you, bro. That's how I look at it. There's no wrong way of doing anything. Even if it doesn't work, you can learn from it. But it's like it works. You own. I mean, that's the bottom line. We got brother Tez in the building. Was that
Hey,
like it works? Then it works if it works. Don't be afraid. And that's the thing. Like you can't be afraid to try stuff, man. Like just give it a shot. Like what works for me might not work for you, vice versa. But I mean, I might try that one day, but I'm definitely gonna try it with someone I know. I'm just afraid. Like, I don't want the police to get involved, man. It's just, out here
I
they be
mean,
tripping sometimes. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful.
I didn't think it was gonna work, man, and it did. There's no way. But hey, man, send it. Like, shoot your shot, right? That I was like, whatever, and it did, and it opened up a whole conversation, man. The three of us ended up exchanging all of our IGs, man. So it was cool, you know. But
That's
again,
what's up. The scam is saying
socially
grocery stores as
calculated.
far as meeting women.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the
Yeah,
things you can do at the grocery
yeah.
store is
And that's
if you're navigating the aisles or whatever, or throughout the store, you can just ask, "Oh, what's that? How is that?" I remember one time I approached a couple because I started drinking sparkling water, and I was looking around and I saw they had put a couple in their cart, and I just asked them, I was like, "Hey, what are those like?" I think it was either Polar sparkling water or Waterloo, something like that. And we had a whole conversation about
Mhm.
sparkling water, right? And it wasn't long, but it was like 2 minutes, and they opened up right away. Oh yeah, these ones are great. You want to stay away from this flavor? It's not that great, but these ones are the ones you want. And based on their recommendation, I bought some, and I was like, yeah, these are actually pretty good. So just simple things like that. You can literally just ask them about their uh their cart, like, and what's in it. Then one time I had a guy ask me about my grocery bags. Right? He's like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" And boom, it was a quick interaction. I mean, and that's the thing. That's how you get these reps in of communicating with people. Right? It doesn't have to be man to woman every single time. You can communicate with guys too. Like you just get those reps in, and it becomes easy. The cashiers at the grocery store, some are more receptive than others. Right? Sometimes they'll seem like, "Hey, man, how you doing? It's good to see you." Others are like, "Welcome." You just
That's the best. There is one place on this list that I stay away from at all costs, and that's the church. Yeah, like they say, good places to meet people, women. I stay away from the church. That's my thing. What's your take on that?
if religion's your thing, obviously that's going to be a place of worship and a place that you like to be and you need to be, right? If that's your thing. However, me personally, I haven't been to church in a while. Shout out to God and those guys. Appreciate y'all, right? It's just that I don't know that nowadays it's the best place. I'm not saying that you can't. I don't want to speak on it just because it's not something that I'm currently doing or visiting, right? But there is, I mean, it is the place to meet people. Uh, is it the right
I'll
people? Who
I'll speak
knows?
on it. I'll speak on it, man. Be careful. If you're going up in the church, man, be careful with the women in church. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna put it. I'm just gonna leave it there. Be careful. That's all. I mean, there's hardly any men as in the black community, especially. There's hardly any men in the church. And that's just a reason for that. So if you go in there, you're gonna get a lot of attention. And I know dudes who they run through churches. I mean, they go through church events, they go to the concerts or whatever, and they just man, they be snatching them up and run them through them. So I don't do that. I stay away from that. I'm not trying to make that happen. But yeah, if you can find good women anywhere, but don't go into a situation where you're going into a church and just assume that these are like really good women. You're gonna have to vet, I think, just as hard, if not harder, than you would meeting someone in the lounge. Because a lot of these women, they in the lounge too. They out here in the world, bro. So it just it is what it is. We got lost in translation in the building. What's happening, man? And we got Donald J. DeMarco himself in the building. What's happening, man? There it is. No church, bro. No, I don't. I separate. When we're talking about dating and going to a church looking for a significant other, a potential wife, that's what I'm talking about. As far as religion, yo, man, get your faith on wherever. You know, that's your faith and your belief and what's going on with these women are two different things. A lot of guys get themselves caught up on that. I
Yeah,
stay
man.
away from that, man.
Yo,
Um,
I shout
yeah.
out to Donald there, man. Yo, Aaron Clary, I love his content, man. His books are fantastic.
Yeah, it really his books are. I got the book of Numbers. Man, I studied that thing, bro. That
Yeah,
was that book was so fascinating, man. I'm definitely gonna
it
do
is.
another show on it. I was talking about the book of Numbers, and he actually was in the comments like, "Yo, thanks for the shout out, brother." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, no problem." I swear by that book. I tell all the guys like, "Man, y'all need to get this book. If there's only one book you're gonna buy in this space, make it that book." You know, I
And I,
think Rich Coop, yeah, I think Unplugged Alpha is great. I think Myron's book, Women Deserve Less, although the title is provocative, the information in there, because Aaron Clary helped him write that.
yeah,
It's good information in there. Sextinction, a great book to read, but if you're only going to get one, I say get the book of Numbers. That will
yeah.
it for I think men should look at how much money they invest in pursuit of the opposite sex in a lifetime. It's staggering the amount of money, bro. Have you ever sat down and did the numbers for you? Like, you know, like what's your number?
When
How much money have
when
you
I
spent
when I
on women?
when I read that, I was like, I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look, man. This could be so depressing, right? I could have retired
You-
probably twice, right, because of the compound interest effect, right? And personal story, I actually got a chance to meet Aaron Clary in person down in Miami. Great guy. It was cool to talk to. It was awesome. He's like a normal guy too, man. Like you just sit there and cut up and just talk about all kinds of stuff with him. It was a great experience to be able to meet with him in person, man.
Yeah, most of the dudes that you find in this space are normal cats. Like, you know, you like even someone like Myron. Like, you know, Myron's politics, I don't agree with at all, but like the female stuff, you know, the dating marketplace stuff I agree with. But we can sit down and talk to Myron, like he's just a regular dude, fresh, real cool cat. You know, I would imagine I haven't broke bread with Rich Cooper or George Gammon or those guys, but I would imagine that they're just normal guys who are just trying their best to help and push men in a direction that's going to help them get whatever it is they're trying to get. But most of these dudes are, I mean, every now and then you come across some weirdos with a platform, with a big platform. It's like, that dude's kind of weird. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like you turn the cameras on. They like, yeah, when they calm down to be on, like when the camera's on and they calm down, most people amp up for the cameras, but when they calm down for the cameras, that's when you gotta be like, yo, this dude, be careful around that dude. But
yeah, man.
they're easy. Like Michael Sertain, I wouldn't mind having a conversation with Michael Sertain. Seems pretty cool.
Yeah, and I've been able to meet Rich Cooper too. Again, yeah, the same thing, man. Is a good guy, you know, solid. I like talking with him. I mean, I've had opportunity to meet several content creators over the
I
years,
bet he is.
and yeah, and they're good conversations, man. I know they have their personas right online, just like we all do.
I've had
What we got here? Oh, is this the video we're gonna look at?
oh, my bad. Yeah, so speaking of Rich Cooper, I've had conversations with, just haven't met him in person yet. But this is a video on his platform, and we're gonna watch this video and then we're gonna react to this thing, guys. So let's check this out. It's gonna be a few minutes. We're not gonna watch the entire video, but we're just gonna watch the meat of it. And it's a guy who was talking about a problem he had with this relationship he had with this woman. He met this woman in the gym, I believe, in the gym. Got into a relationship with her. She was a single mom. And he got into a relationship with this woman, and it's just about how it went sideways. We'll start it about here.
All right. I'm not seeing this either, so this will be first for me.
So here we go.
I wasn't perfect in the relationship, slide that I shouldn't have, but for the most part, I did the right things when it came to relationships. I led, I set boundaries, I checked her when she would test them, let her know that two of my boundaries were no girls trips and girls nights would be given serious scrutiny. She agreed to everything we discussed at the beginning to stay at each other's homes. She brought up going a low-key beach trip, and that if that's what she chooses, I would not be in her life when she got back. She wasn't happy about it, but she decided not to go. And her girls' nights went from late night bar hopping with a group to just an occasional night at a wine bar with her best friend. As a note, her best flowers. And to describe me, and this is not to brag, point of this 4'3", a competitive power lifter. I'm in good shape, broad shoulders, muscles. I earn 6 figures. Have a nice. I travel for work. I am a 1L law student, earning my JD on the weekends. I'm not sure what a 1L law student is. Maybe somebody can chime in the comments. Just something I've always wanted to do. Didn't make her my world. She was an important part, but just not the center of it. I've always said a woman wants a man with a sparkle in his eyes, and surprises and work trips with me, planned vacations. She had what she wanted, and maybe that was the part of the problem. But I like going out and having a nice dinner and drinks. I work hard and play hard. So it was nice to have a female companion. These trips weren't planned to stay and live together, but we had a schedule. The weeks I was not traveling, I would spend Tuesday and Thursday night at her place, and on the weekends I didn't have my kids. I would stay the weekend, or she would come over to my apartment. On nights we didn't see each other, we would talk for about an hour right before bed just to check in on each other and see how the day was. About a year and a half into the relationship, she got a new job. She went from a job that was basically brainless to back working in her field that she had left a few years before we had met. This was my encouragement because her talent was being wasted. Again, probably a mistake on my part. All was good the first year or so. Then I started noticing.
Yeah, man, I'm having technical difficulties. Donald J. DeMarco is right. I'm gonna have to start downloading these things, and it will help with the issues, man. The playback is pretty bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come out of this video. It's linked in the description below, guys. You guys can go and just check it out. I'm gonna come out of this video, and we're just gonna talk about the issue. So basically, you had a guy, 6'3" power lifter, I mean, probably a handsome guy, talking about a Giga Chad. He meets this girl in the gym, single mom. They get into a relationship, even though he says, oh man, I know better, but they get into a relationship, everything is going good. Then they start to, he starts to meet her family and all this. And I think all this happened within like a year, 8 months to a year, something like that. It didn't take a long time. This is why, guys, I tell you all the time, man, 2 years to vet. 2 years. You need a minimum, in my opinion, of 2 years. It's hard to lie to someone for 2 years or longer, right? Without screwing up, without making a misstep. And then the guy doing well, is making money, he's got the sixes, right? He's got the, 6 feet or taller, 6 figures. Got the 6-pack, like he's fit. He has red pill knowledge. He understands what's going on, but he ignored a lot of red flags. And then, okay, so what happened? Eventually he finds out that she's messing around with a female, and she's also messing around with some dude. He finds out, confronts her. She admits to it, eventually starts crying or whatever, and then he gets his stuff and leaves. So, you hear that, right? You hear that. And and people like, my God, I can't believe he did that. He's red pill aware. He watches the content. He's out here. I tell dudes all the time, man, it doesn't matter if you revert back to who you truly are. If you don't really make that fundamental change, it's going to happen. And it happened to him. right? So, what's your take on all that, bro?
Here's what happens. And oh, is my
I
audio not
think
good, man?
here we go.
All right, we good?
I get you good now. You good now?
Here's what happens, right? And I could talk to this because I had the same thing happen to me. Is you get caught up in the moment and then you just have your brain goes on the fritz, right? Oh, she's gonna be different. It's gonna be fine. Whatever. I'll be okay. So then you basically lower your guard. You let your guard down, or you stop performing at the level that you needed to perform at, meaning keeping maintaining your frame, or just leading the interaction, the relationship, whatever, or just being who you were that she was attracted to initially, right? You kind of lose yourself, right? And then what happens is she loses that attraction, that respect, or that care for you, right? Or she takes advantage of it and you're just like, his guards are down. I'm gonna swoop in. I'm gonna start making some changes here. So that's why you get caught up in the moment. Essentially, you forget what got you there. So we've all been there, man, myself included. It happens, bro. But
It's
you
not
have to
we.
stay on point.
You have to stay on point, and it's like we've all been there. And this is why when I had guys, we have the conversations, and dudes are like, "Yeah, man, I'm a G. I got all these girls, blah blah blah." I only ask one question. I'm like, "Hey, man, can you say no to a beautiful woman, a legit 10? Can you say no to her? Like if she's coming up, talking to you, whatever, can you say no?" And the vast majority of men can't,
Yeah.
right? This is what you want to do, fellas. You want to be in a position where you're able to deny the beautiful woman in the same way that you would deny the fat girl on a slow Tuesday or a slow Thursday. It has to be the same. Right? You can't sit back and say, well, I'm gonna treat her different than her, because if you do that, then that's the pedestalization. And you're gonna pedestalize her, that's the problem. And
Yeah.
this dude found a woman that was physically what he wanted. She came in like she was making sandwiches for him. She was adding value. I forgot to add that part. She was adding value and all that good stuff. She was doing all that, right? She was doing all of it. And he just kind of ignored the red flags. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Every man goes through this. You're just gonna ignore the red flags. And she's doing everything he wants in the bedroom. You add to the fact that she's into girls. So, the guy didn't put it in the note in the letter, but I bet you she was probably like, hey, I could get these girls over here. Now you're having three ways. You're like, oh man, she's perfect. Bro, be careful with that. Like, is that who you want to marry? Like, if so, fine. I mean, I know people who are into that, but that leads to other things because she might not want to stop that lifestyle. Next thing you know, he's like, oh, I guess I'm a swinger. I didn't know I was a swinger. Like, yeah, because that's what she wants to do, and you're doing what she wants to do. Again, I ain't got a problem with if that's what you want, but that needs to be what you want and not what you would kind of drug into or have to do to keep her. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he left her, but when I leave a woman, man, I'm not trying to have a confrontation. Once I figure out what's going on, I've made up my mind, I'm gone. She just comes back and my stuff is gone. And she's trying to reach out to me. I'm not even talking to her. That's how I do it. And some people are like, no, man, you got to confront them. Why? Why? I don't understand that part. How would you do? Would you, like, if you're dealing in a situation like that, would you just clean break, go, just leave? Or would you confront them?
I don't know, man. It's tough because like the logical side says, you just gotta let it go, man. But the emotional side of things is like, no, I want to get my closure, right? I want to talk it out, whatever the case may be. And the thing is, it's really hard, man, when you've got a situation with someone who's highly attractive, right? They can get away with a lot more things, right? Or they're allowed to get away with, and they start to figure that out, right? Especially if they were attractive, growing up through adulthood, right? I'm not saying they're all like that, man, but it's a trend. Once they figure out the advantage they have, they use it, right? And so it's really difficult to put your foot down, but you have to be that guy, right? That's what I've learned talking to guys who are that guy. And they're just like, no, man, you just got to do it. It freaks you out sometimes because when you're not that guy, it's it's hard, man. So I can't
Yeah,
speak
I
to that.
mean,
I've
it
not
is
been in
really
that
difficult.
situation. Shout out to
I
Mandrell,
mean,
man.
it is yeah, man. But you have to train yourself to do it like everything else. I'm not saying it's easy. Especially if you're dealing with a woman that's probably the most beautiful woman. She's everything you've ever wanted physically out of a woman. And then you add to the fact that she started off well, like, oh, she's making sandwiches. She's not going out, she's adding value. You're like, oh my God, this is great. And then she slowly begins to do those things that she wants to do. And she doesn't say it, but it's implied, like, well, if I don't let her do that, man, she ain't gonna make them sandwiches, or if I don't let her do that, she's not gonna come over. And guys begin to what does Rich Cooper call it, like a death through a thousand concessions or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, bro. But if you're dealing with a woman that's not as attractive, you're dealing with a woman that's like on a scale of 0 to 10 is like a 3. You wouldn't think twice about that chick, like, she's got to go. But that's the same mentality you have to have with the beautiful woman. And I'm telling you, if she senses that and she really wants you, first of all, if a woman really wants you, she ain't trying to go out. She don't want to go out without you. Like, she's not hanging out with the girls. She doesn't want to take a girls trip. She really doesn't. She wants you there. That doesn't say that she won't do it. Like, she'll go on a bachelorette party or she'll do a girls trip if it's, depending on where she is in her life. But she wants you there. That's the woman you want. She's not entertaining other men. It's like, if she has social media, it's private. You're on her social media, like, y'all share it. Like, she's not keeping secrets in her phone. That's the woman you want. And so many guys are like, man, that's just not realistic. Like, it is realistic, bro. And you can't get it. If she's into you, she's doing all that stuff. You ain't got to talk to her about it. If she's not doing those things, well, maybe she's not into you like you think.
Yeah, man. And I think part of that goes to when guys are struggling and they're not having the abundance mindset, right? There's the scarcity, like, oh, I've got this one, I've got to hang on to it, man. And so they're doing the concession, exactly, the basicization. And we've all been there, man. We've all been there. So and it's hard.
We've all been there. It is hard.
You got to improve, man. You got to improve.
Well, this is why you want to go out and talk to beautiful women. Again, when you're out there and you're learning these techniques, man, go talk to the finest women in the spot. That's what I do. I encourage people to do the same thing. Like, bro, you're not trying to get married, but what you want to do is get desensitized to her beauty. That's what Mike Certain does. Mike Certain is surrounded by a bunch of beautiful women because he does those pageants and all that other kind of stuff. He worked in the strip clubs when he was younger. Like, he understands their mentality. So he's desensitized to it. He doesn't care. He sees the 9s and 10s the same way he sees the 3s, 4s, and 5s. Right? It doesn't mean anything to him. That's where you need to be as a guy. And I'm telling you, I see it all the time. We'll have these conversations. The guys are like, yep, I'm ready. We go out, and I'll always take them to a nice gentleman's club, a high-end strip club with the most beautiful women in there, and I'll just watch them revert back to who they are. Like, yep, look at you, man. No, man, she loves you. Like, bro, she got $400 out of you, bro. She got $400 out of you in 20 minutes. That's why she loves you.
Yeah, man. And what I found too is I would say it's 50-50, just in my anecdotal experience, is that those really, really attractive women actually are pretty pleasant, right, to talk to. And
Yes.
they're just like, oh, wait a minute, like, you're not entitled, right? Or pain in the ass.
The 9s and 10s.
Some of them are. They are. Right. Let's
of them.
get a buck. But you'd be surprised.
But the 9s and 10s. Well, think about it. The 9s and 10s don't get as much attention because men are afraid to talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, like, I lose my mind. I'm just like, I don't want to go talk to them. But, like, sometimes I will, and I was like, oh, that's not so bad. That's actually pretty cool.
Not so bad. Especially dancing. I'm pretty sure, like, you'd be able to dance, especially doing like the salsa joint. You probably dance with the finest women in there, and they're just happy to dance with you. But because so many men are afraid, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. If you ever go to a dance, I don't care if it's, cowboy dancing, salsa, line dancing, whatever the kind of dancing it is, like tango, sit back and watch sometimes. You'll see the most beautiful women they're sat down, looking around, waiting for somebody to come ask them to dance. And no one will ask her to dance until the first guy goes up. Once the first guy goes up, he's some random, like 3, goes up and asks her to dance, and she goes out and dances with him. Now she doesn't sit down for the rest of the night because all the other dudes are up there trying to talk to her, trying to dance with her.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, dancing is a cheat code, man. If you, let's say dancing is not your thing, or maybe you want to get into it, just go find spots that have free lessons, or sign up for a studio that offers different levels of dancing, right? So, for example, salsa. there's like level 1, level 2, level 3. So beginner, intermediate, advanced, right? And as you progress, you can get better. You can also do private lessons if that's the kind of attention that you need, right, to get better. But it literally is a cheat code, man. And one of the things that I found is when I do go out dancing, uh, I I lock in and I just start asking, right? The amount of times I've asked a woman and she's like, I don't really know, I'm not sure.
Not good.
I always say, that's okay. I know how to dance. Let's go. And for one, I say it confidently, but it also kind of puts them at ease a little bit. And they're like, okay. And then we get out there and then they're moving just fine. I was like, why are you trolling me saying that you can't dance? And they're like, it's just building that rapport, right? It is it's multifaceted, right? So dancing is a social thing. It's also uh, your ability to get your steps in too, man. Like you get a little bit of workout, right? Right. So you're basically multitasking, man. You're able to improve your social skills. You get out there, you practice, you get better. You're out there moving around. It's cardiovascular. You're in a fun environment. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that are beneficial to it, right? That I cannot
Scam
stress
Likely
enough
is
how
a
much.
real good dancer. Yeah,
Yeah, there
Scam
we go,
Likely is
man.
a real good dancer. And we're talking about cheat codes. Yeah, Donald J. DeMarco says he's good at ice skating. Here's the thing, guys. Here's again, roller skating, ice skating, dancing. Be good at something. Anyone's been following me for a while. You've heard me say this a million times. Be good at something. I don't care what it is. Be good at something. That is like the ultimate cheat code when it comes to going out here and getting on with women. Because you become the go-to guy. You're the subject matter expert. They'll come talk to you about if you're good at something. If you're good in dancing,
Uh,
they're gonna hang out with you and you become the cool kid. Everyone has to know you. You know what I mean? Oh, GComplex, he could dance. Saint, he could dance. I'm a comedian. You don't even have to be like the best comedian, but I'm really good at putting together events. So everybody comes to holler at me, right? I'm good at something. Night of the event, everyone's coming to talk to me. All the women want to come up and say hi and give me a hug and bring their friends up. Oh, this is my friend Saint. Bro, it's crazy. Be good at something, guys. So, but that takes work too. I don't care if you can be good at AI. They're gonna be calling you. They're gonna be
yeah,
texting you. Can you help me out? You know what I mean? It's on.
yeah. I mean, everybody has some kind of talent or skill that can help them. Dance is my thing. I do on the side a little bit of financial coaching and like LinkedIn resume, reviews and coaching and all that. So find something that you are good at or that you can help with, right? Or have experience, right? Or that you can provide. And like with the dancing thing, like it also provides some kind of social proof, right? Especially if you're seeing dances with other women. They're like, okay, he's cool. He's got moves. If he comes to ask me, I'm probably gonna say yes, right? I've even got a story of how that helped me even more. So I was back home. I met up with my old neighbor friend, who she's now an instructor at the studio that she's working at now, or a part of. And at one point in the night, she's like, "All right, man, let's go." And we're out there for whatever reason. The dance floor had cleared out, and so it's only her and I out there. And she makes this comment to me. She says, "All right, man, all the eyes are on you. It's your time to shine." And it kind of took me back. I was like, "Well, we better go for it then." And so we took off. We had about 45 seconds to a minute by ourselves on the dance floor, and we were going for it. And because she's an instructor, she knows how to do the lady styling and the flair and all that. So she made it look even better, right? And so after that, the women I were asking to dance, they were like, yes, right away. They're like, yo, you're such a good dancer, man. You're looking good out there. They're like, are you on a dance team? I said, no, man, I haven't been dancing in like 4 months, right? At that point, this was back in April, something like that. And they were real receptive, real approachable, real cool. I was like, man, this is awesome. Like I'm seeing in real time how social proof can help you, and just having just a little bit of social calibration can help you, and also having a skill, right? And being good at something like you're saying, and how much of an impact it makes in real time, right? In that moment.
Yeah, think of what he's talking about. Like he had the social skill locked down because if he was a weirdo, she wouldn't have been talking to him in the beginning. No matter, even if he was can dance good, no one wants to deal with a weirdo, man. That's just too much. So especially women, they should have stayed away. So you're good at that. So that gets you in the game, right? You know how to dance, and you're fairly good at it. Then an opportunity presented itself, and she knew he could dance because she'd seen him and danced with him. Like, okay, now's your time to shine. So, right, she had the awareness, and he had the awareness. So, boom, he was able to do it. And once that happened, you had that moment, only a few seconds, but they're looking at that, and all the women are looking. That's the social proof, bro. that's where everybody was talking. He's out there with this beautiful. I'm pretty sure she was fine. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys ever seen like these professional ladies who do like the salsa and all that. My God, they're fine. And boom, all the women now want to holler at him, and that stays forever. Like now he's known as the dude. So now he's not just the gym guy, but he's also the salsa guy, right? He's the cowboy guy. So, so you just, this is how y'all do it, fellas, and it takes a lot of work. So I guess we can wind down and you know, just kind of give our final thoughts now. But I just wanted to, you know, I'm so glad you came on this platform, man, so we can have this conversation, so people can see, like, oh, I see what you're talking about. Like, okay, yeah, GComplex, okay. You can do the work. Like you can sit back and struggle and just, you know, put your head in the sand and give up if you want to. Talk about call women 304s and just talk about the negativity, or you can go out here and do the work and have some success. So if you can just, you know, give us your final thoughts and kind of, if you want to give us one more story, like maybe give us one of your most successful stories when you were out there.
Well, I'll put a bow on it like this: is that I want to stress that I'm just a regular guy, that anybody can do this. And I used to think the same way. Like I am just out here existing, right? And so putting in the reps in the gym, working on your mentality, being intentional with how you're living, right? Just do the work day by day, week by week, rep by rep, man. Like you really just have to put in the time and effort. Oh, looks like we got cut off. Are we back online, man?
My power went out. We got like 5 minutes before my cuts out.
All right, I can hear you. I can't see you. Video's cutting out.
Hello.
All right, I don't know if the
my
chat is
power
hearing
went out.
us.
So they can hear you. I think they can see you.
All right. Well, yeah, I was just saying, you know,
Yeah,
just as a regular
a
guy.
mass down here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take it home then, man. Great conversation. Like I said, guys, like if you just get out there and do the reps, just simple stuff, man. Talk to people that are in your vicinity, meaning when you go to the store, when you go out get something to eat, right? If you're in the Uber, if you're getting a package delivered, right? Just little interactions like that. Get those reps in. Get into the gym. Make sure you're dressing well. And I'm not saying you gotta dress to the nines, man, but just wear clothes that fit and that look presentable. I mean, you know, comb your goddamn hair and get a haircut. And just work on your social skills. Be socially calibrated. That's like the biggest thing. And treat people how you want to be treated. I know that's cliche. I get it, but it really does reflect on you, and it ultimately will provide you the better experience. So that's want to put the bow on that like that.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I hope you guys can hear me. I heard that. And I'm just going to go to the outro because I got backup power that's only going to last me a few more minutes. So
No worries.
Shout out to Brother GComplex. Shout out to y'all. I'm DL Saint. This is That Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace. Uh-oh, it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.